Good morning, traders. I want to visit with you this morning a little about yesterday. I'm gonna visit about the last 2 weeks, to be honest with you. Um, I've managed to find or to fine tune ICT's concepts with reversal patterns to the point that I am very, very confident that I can spot these things and I can make money every single time they occur. Um, Once I started spotting them in real time and as the market was developing them, my confidence grew, and I was like, "Wow, this is really it. I can do this." And maybe I became a little overconfident. I'm still 100% confident in the system and the reversal patterns and all that stuff. 100% confident. What I have been struggling with is emotional trading, getting my emotions involved. It's been like I had 5 weeks of really good success. I mean, I was doing better than I ever have before, and then now I've gone into a 2 week lull here where I'm not doing well, and it's very very frustrating because I know the patterns. It's not the fact that I don't know the patterns, that I don't know where to put in a good entry. The problem is I'm not following my plan, and so that's made me look for trading psychology opportunities. Been watching some videos. There's one man named Andrew Menaker. What he talks about really resonates with me. And I'm going to link a video in the description, one of his videos that really resonated with me. But basically, the one of the things he said in that video is, we make our plan, and conceptually we have our plan in place. But once we enter the market, we're not trading our plan, we're trading our emotions. And so if you can't get control of those emotions, it's ultimately going to wreck your trading. Okay. So that's what I've been dealing with. I've been getting very excited when I win. Very excited, thinking, oh boy, I can do this because I can spot those levels. I can call them out. I can give them to other people and they can make money with it. But I'm failing to do so. So that this is the part of the trading journey that is, I call it the last piece of the puzzle. I don't know that it will ever be a completed puzzle because you're dealing with the human brain and human emotions, and sometimes they just take over. What we have to learn to do as traders is learn to recognize when we're getting emotional and step away and don't come back to the trading area until those emotions have calmed down. Because at that point, your brain is no longer in a trading frame of mind. Having the discipline to step away, that's going to be the difference between whether or not you're successful ultimately and unsuccessful. Um, Menaker talks a lot about how traders, I mean, it's the exact same thing. You make the same mistake over and over and over, and you say, why do I do that? Well, the reason you're doing it is because you're trading emotionally. And once you can start to recognize that and put safeguards in place, I mean, you can put the daily loss limits, you can put the trade limits, you can do all of that stuff, and it will lock you out, but it's not achieving your goal of gaining control of your emotions, because that's what you're lacking. That's what I've been struggling with, and that's what my focus is going to be next week. I'm not going to worry about putting loss limits in and all of that stuff. I'm just going to focus on if I start feeling myself getting emotional, and it works both ways. If you lose, a loss is amplified by 2.5 times. It's painful. That's an emotion. I had a losing trade yesterday. I got livid. Oh, I was so upset because I had that losing trade. And I didn't even really lose it. I'd moved my stop to where I think I was going to make at least $100 on the trade. And I was up 500. And then it came back and stopped me out for $100 gain. And I hit the freaking ceiling. I was so upset that that trade did not go and take out the highs like I expected it to take them out. Right then, this is part of the journey, looking back on it. And I don't think it's even equally important. I think it's even more important than spotting a trade on the chart, is recognizing when you get angry at it was actually a win. I got angry because it didn't go to my take profit. When you start feeling those anger emotions, even though you've won the trade, you're out of control emotionally. And recognizing that is more important than recognizing where to take a trade on the chart. I've learned that. I've been struggling with that portion of it for a while. I've felt defeated in the fact that, I'll get in a trade and I'll be up $300 or $400, but it didn't go to my take profit, and it comes back down and stops me out. Sometimes for a loss, sometimes for break even, just depending on if I move my stop or not. And every time it upsets me. So that, I think, is a very, very important piece of the puzzle. Let me show you what I got so upset about yesterday. Okay. So this is our opening range. I've got it marked out with these green lines. I don't like this crosshair when we're doing the videos, so let me get rid of it. Okay, so this green line here and this green line here is marking the opening range. It's the first 30 minutes after New York opened. So from 9:30 to 10. And I'm thinking, because we sold off, this is a bias that whether, doesn't matter, you got a bias, you don't have a bias. I'm thinking weekly objective has already been taken, but we possibly trade down into here and then work our way back up to settlement, because we pretty much stayed at settlement all night. This is just regular trading hours only. So let's squeeze down into a 1 minute time frame. And let's see if we can find that open. Here we go. I got it marked out with that green line. So because it pretty much opened flat. There was no gap. I think this one right here is the 9:30 candle, right where we have that green line. Okay. So we opened and we did the typical bouncing around and bouncing around. We came down here and we took out this 4-hour low at the 21.3 level. Just made a nice little reversal pattern here. So this will be our breaker. I can mark that out. I don't know why this line is here. Let me get rid of that thing. We'll put our breaker right here. The last up close candle before the run on liquidity. We won't worry about where the liquidity is right now. I'm not going to go look for it, but that's it. And we mark those in a mauve color, so we know they are a bullish breaker. So I know my system's good, and I know I'm confident in my system. So at this point, I've got my bullish breaker framed out, and I'm looking for candle bodies to start respecting it. And so we push through with a fair value gap. We got one here. We got one here. We got another one here. Once we got above here, if you were able to get in, I typically want to enter right at the breaker or right at the fair value gap. This one really didn't give the opportunity to do that. But if you were to jump in somewhere around here, or possibly even on this one, I wouldn't do it on this one just because we weren't validating the breaker. Let's say you're able to get in there. That would be great. I wasn't able to. And then so I had to watch all of this trash for, how long was that? 10, 12, 1 hour sitting here watching this thing bounce and bounce and bounce and doing absolutely nothing. Okay. This was making me mad. So right then I'm like, I haven't been able to recognize it in the past, but that's what I'm recognizing. When you're not in the heat of the moment, that's when you need to reflect. It's kind of like journaling. You can write it down if you want to. I'm not a writer down of things. I've got a pretty good memory, so I just conceptualize it. If it's something I really want to remember and tell myself before I start trading, I'll write it down. But just recognizing the fact that bringing it into your awareness that I got emotional just watching this chop. I was emotional. Okay. And I missed something in here. Okay. So we didn't get an opportunity to go long here because it just didn't come back to our entry. Okay. So then we come back down and we touch the breaker. That's our system. We didn't take out the low over here if in regular trading hours, so that made us have a higher low. So we had a higher low. We pushed through the breaker, fair value gaps. We came back down. We touched the breaker, and I'm thinking we're going for liquidity up here. And in the extended trading, you can even see some more. There was relative equal highs up there. Okay, so right here, these relative equal highs, that's where I'm thinking we're headed. That's just too juicy for me. So I go long here. I put my take profit up at the relative equal highs. And it's going up and up and up. I'm 5 long. I think I may have entered in this little situation here. And I get up about $500. I think I may have even added. And then this news bomb hits. And ooh, I did not have these orange lines here at the time. Had not marked them yet. But boy, that really aggravated me. And then we come down here and candle bodies. I had this line on the bottom in the wrong spot. I thought these were respecting the breaker this entire time, but they weren't. Looking at this because I had some sort of a long bias in my head. This is a very good signal to go short, but I completely missed it. Throughout all this, I'm just sitting here getting more and more frustrated watching these candles bounce. Okay. Right here, let's just go back. So we come down, we leave a low here. We made a higher low. We left liquidity down here. Right there. We left that liquidity. We come up. This is the high of the day, the high of the opening range. And we take it out one time, and then we revisit it and take it out again. Okay. So in that situation, this would be the run on liquidity. I have this one marked out. But in actuality, this one is the breaker because that's the highest point. So I need to move that. But I mean, it's very, very close. You could use either one, I think, in that situation. Look at that one, though. We make this one. We pull away with a fair value gap. We respect that son of a gun every time. We pull away. We come back. We try to make it to it. We don't. And I do believe the bottom of this fair value gap, it's a few ticks away. I don't know if you could have gotten an entry there, but definitely you could get an entry here if you were thinking in the short frame of mind. If you frame this other one down here, I'm pretty sure that's a higher high, so we would use that one. Man, that is a beautiful reversal. But I'm not thinking short at this time. Thinking long, and I'm just getting more and more angry. Man, that would have been a beautiful short in hindsight, because the market absolutely fell out of bed after that. After this little deal, I made a little bit of money on the trade, and I was still very, very upset that I didn't go to my take profit. I locked my account for 15 minutes, and I came back, and we were somewhere in this area, and I took a short off of this fair value gap. We had violated this bullish breaker, no longer valid. And so once we got down here, put up these two fair value gaps, I put an entry here and targeting the lows we had left prior. And I also had these 4-hour lows marked out down here. And it went down here and somewhere along the way, I got stopped out. The candle never even came up to my stop, but I was trailing it. And the market was really moving fast in that area. And then all of a sudden, my position was ended. And I think I may have gotten in at one more short. Can't remember. But this, all this downward movement rapidly was very exciting. So now my anger from that one over there had turned to excitement. Excitement is an emotion as well. Anger and excitement are just as deadly to your trading brain. Uh, uh, Controlling those emotions is essential. And the reason I'm talking about it now as though it's something I know, it's something I'm learning about myself, and something you're going to have to learn about yourself. Whether you're getting mad because something didn't work out in your favor, or you're getting really excited because you just had a big win, both of those are emotional situations. And the excitement of winning actually produces dopamine. And so then you may start over trading. This is all happening at a subconscious level. You might start over trading just to get those dopamine hits. Okay. So here I'm livid because my winning trade did not win as much money as I wanted it to win. And then I actually got in another one here and I think I lost. This one gets me up on the day. I'm so excited. Emotion. Okay. And then we do all this and I'm looking. I know there's an end wall down here and I'm thinking, you know what? We usually revisit new week opening gaps. We haven't revisited that one. We may go all the way down here. And I didn't like this reversal pattern. We made a lower low, but sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that just means we're going and running down. We're going to take out the very little last bit of liquidity. The more important thing here is we took out a 4-hour low. And if you look at the 4-hour chart, we took out a major PD array on this 4-hour low. This is a fair value gap. And we took that out. And my trading buddy, Adam, was pointing that out to me. But at this point, I was so emotional, both going from being very upset to very excited. Both of those situations don't belong at the trading desk. But I was so emotional. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? I think we're going to go down here. I ignored this. And my trading buddy tells me, well, we just took out a 4-hour low and a fair value gap on the 4-hour chart. I think this is a long opportunity. We could go all the way back to settlement. Did I listen? Nope. I ignored it. I decided we were going here, and you couldn't get me to believe anything else, despite what the chart was telling me. At that point, I was completely out of control emotionally. And I watched as we trickled up. We didn't move up fast. We didn't have a fair value gap until we got here. And that's what was making me think this is just running liquidity. So I go short for another push down. And I lose that trade. And guess what happens? Oh, I am very, very upset. Again, emotional trading. And ended up blowing up that trading combine. When I finally decided, okay, we're going up. I think somewhere around here, once we got above this green candle, I said, okay, this is not going back down. This trade is done. I think somewhere right around here at the highs, I decided to reverse my position and I took my loss, only to get stopped out when it retraced. Oh, my head nearly exploded at that point. But I regrouped. I got back in, and I actually had blown up at this right here. I think after that one loss, I had a reasonable amount of size on at that point. But after this one, I was like, I was on full tilt. And I think I bought 15 contracts or something like that, something crazy. Um, After I'd gotten stopped out, and I think I probably bought it around here, only to get stopped out again. It blew the combine. So yeah, so I finally I realized I am an emotional wreck. I need to walk away from a little while for a little while, and I did. Walked away, took some deep breaths. Actually, went and laid down and thought, well, I'm just gonna take a nap. But that wasn't working. I was too bent out of shape. And so then I came in. I got another combine, and some point in here, I think it was after this run up, I'd taken quite a bit of a break. I think somewhere around here, I went ahead and went long, uh, trying to get to this liquidity. I think I was long five, this settlement rather, and we did get there relatively rapidly, and that paid me uh, a couple $100 on that combine going into the weekend. And I locked my account because that was my goal, is to go into the weekend green. And I did get upset one more time because I left a runner on with the expectation that we were going to take out these two relative equal highs, and we did, but we didn't do it until a whole bunch of jumping up and down. So I think I had my stop somewhere around here, and it pushed up and it came back down, stopped me out, and then went right back up to where my runners would have gotten paid, and I would have made a little bit more money. But I'm pretty sure I got upset about that one too. Um, so how do we get to the point where we can control those emotions? I don't know that you can actually control them. It's part of human nature to get upset when you win. I mean, to get excited when you win and to get upset when you lose. It's all part of human nature. So, as traders, we have to learn to work around them. It's the same kind of thing that, like, you're trading in these combines, and you're a whole lot more willing to put on a risk. And then you get into XFA, and all of a sudden you're, ooh, this is real money. This is something I can withdraw and put in my bank account. And all of a sudden your trading goes out the window. And that's emotions. Like you'll do, I've done it. I know some of my viewers have told me they've done it as well. And if you really start studying traders and listening to traders, everybody goes through this. It's just part of the deal. But they'll get an XFA funded. Maybe they have 4 days in a row where they're just lights out, doing great, making their profits each day. And then day 5, right before they're eligible for a payout, they blow the whole daggone account. It's happened to me 5 times in 5 weeks. And there's some of my other people some of my other viewers have told me it's happened to them. My trading buddy said it's happened to him. And if you listen to this video I'm going to send you from Andrew Menaker, he's worked with thousands and thousands of traders over the years. He's a psychologist, and he's not working with guys like you and me. He's working with institutional traders, hedge fund managers, people managing multi-million-dollar accounts they are still having the same type of problems that we're having. And so that video was very beneficial for me. So if we can't control the emotions, how do we trade around them? That's the important part. I think the most important part of this video. You have to get to the point where you recognize that the emotional side of trading, we make our plan, but we trade with our emotions. We've got to take that out. We've got to recognize when we're getting emotional, and we got to walk away. That's what's going to keep you in the game and keep you making money. Okay, so you're trading. You take a loss. You feel your heartbeat go up. Maybe your body tenses up. Maybe you're, oh, dad, gummit, I can't believe that trade didn't work out. That's emotion. You're mad. You got to take a break. use the lockout feature. Lock yourself out for 15 minutes. If you're still feeling angry about that trade, lock yourself out another 15 minutes. Because the trading brain has to be rational. And once you start getting emotional, you're no longer functioning with a rational brain. And that's why you blow your accounts. You think you're being rational, but you're not. Your emotional brain is controlling every click of the mouse, every take profit, every stop move, it's all being controlled by your emotions. I don't want to lose because losing, and it's all subconscious too. I don't want to lose this trade because I know I'm right on this direction. So instead of letting this thing stop me out, I'm going to move my stop down lower so I don't lose this trade. And that's a whole lot more risk than I'm comfortable with. Oh, what if I did get stopped out? Now fear is involved, another emotion. So once we start recognizing that we are having emotions regarding how this trade is going to work out, I mean, once you're in the trade, I guess you got to let the trade work out. Don't move your stop. Moving a stop is an emotional response. Once you get into profit, let's say you're in profit, you're up $100 and your take profit's at $1,000. I mean, you're like, ooh, I don't want to lose any money on this trade, so I'm going to go to break even. That's an emotional response. Maybe it's better to let it run a little ways before you move your stop, because I've been whipped out. I mean, at 100, like you're saying, you're doing 5. I mean, you've only moved 10 points away, 5 micros, $100. You only moved 10 points away, and for it to rip back like in one of these situations, 10 points is nothing in the Nasdaq. So maybe it's better to stick to your plan. Some of the people I watched that do this successfully, like ICT and Tanya trades, she's one of his students. They won't move their stop to break even until they're just a few points away from their take profit. They leave their stop in place. And I've seen the market come down within one tick of ICT's stop and then go exactly right to his take profit. And I've seen it happen with Tanya too. So trust your system, trust your stop placement. If the stop is too big for your comfort level, size down or wait for another trade opportunity. This is all easy to do, all rational thinking. This is what I'm going to do when I get in the market on Monday. But the emotional side, when it takes over, all of that planning's out the window. So how can we combat it? Just in summary, we have to recognize it first, and then we have to calm ourselves. How do you calm yourself? Meditation, perhaps, would work. If you're looking for a dopamine hit, do a little exercise. Got a little exercise bike here. Ride that thing for a minute. Do some push-ups and some sit-ups or whatever you need to do. The market will be there when you get back, but you can't sit there and say, I'm going to tough this out and I'm going to just wait. Usually if you start getting emotional, especially if you get upset, you're going to size up. Very first thing, boom, size up. Now you got an uncomfortable stop loss. Oh, fear. And you're focusing on that big number wherever, $500 isn't enough. I need to make $1,000 now because I'm in the hole already. These are all emotional responses. And when you feel yourself and you're starting to think that way, recognizing that, locking yourself out for not all day, just lock yourself out for a little while, take a mental break, go get your dopamine levels up, calm yourself. Meditation is what I hear a lot of people do. And I have incorporated that, but not in the times I need to. So that's going to be my focus for next week, is calming myself, recognizing that I can absolutely get emotional and go on tilt, and trying to prevent it by controlling my emotions. And I hope my honesty in this situation will help you understand you're not alone. Every trader goes through this. And if we're going to be successful, Sorry, the video cut off. That was the 30-minute mark, but it's going to be a long one, but sorry. If we're going to be successful, we can't try. If you're trying to control your emotions, that's going to even make you more frustrated. We are always going to have emotions. We're human beings. So we, as traders, have to learn to work around our emotions. Okay, I'm getting emotional. I'm stepping away. That's going to be the difference between success and failure. I love each and every one of you. I hope this video helps. Remember, even if you're failing time and time again, I've been failing at this for a year and a half on the whole Topstep thing. If you go back into my stocks, you could say I've been failing for even longer than that. But there's been a lot of successes along the way too. The failures are coming from this emotional thing. And I hope, I've been saying for the last 6 months, my trading plan is not the problem. I understand. I wasn't as confident in it a few months ago as I am now, but now I'm very, very confident in it, but I'm still having the same problem, still trading emotionally. And so I'm hoping that I am the last piece of the puzzle here. I have a good trading plan. Learning to work with my emotions while trading is definitely the last piece of the puzzle, not just for me, it's for every trader. That's I don't understand why that is, but it is what it is, and you got to learn to work with it, or success is always going to elude you. Remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to one another. Love each and every one of you. Until next time, trade well and control those emotions.